right, traders, it is time to prepare to trade the best setups at the best prices. We are going to be breaking down the SPY and how to trade it both ways. We're going to be breaking down the bull scenario and the bear scenario. I'm going to show you the key make it or break it levels, how to trade the best setups at the best prices, where the bull and bear traps are going to be created. Make sure you stay to the end of this video so you're prepared to trade heading into this week. So in terms of the SPY, let's start off with what's going on during extended hours trading session. As you could see, not too much is going on. We ended up closing at 409.19 on Thursday, and SPY is having a small gap up. It just rejected $410 during extended hours trading session. With that being said, this is where you need to understand in terms of where we are right now. We are towards the higher end of a short-term channel. Now, these are some things that I want to bring awareness to, right? In terms of being bullish and in terms of being bearish, let's just kind of break this down right here. So in terms of the SPY, you can see there was some support right here at 407.60. That cracked, reacted as a resistance, which is a bearish overall trend. That means the bears are trying to take control, but the trend has now shifted and reversed to technically micro bullish, short-term bullish, because the bulls broke above this previous support at 407.60 and they turned it into higher support, breaking out to the next resistance level above at $409.30, right? So here's what we know. We know the bulls are gaining control for the micro for the short term being, because they broke above this previous resistance that was one support and they turned it back into support, and now they're trying to break out. However, we are still rejecting this resistance level at 409.30, but it is gapping up and trying to hold it. So this is what I want you to understand. One of our key levels heading into tomorrow, and as always, is going to be the closing price, the previous closing price. So 409.19. 409.19 is a resistance level. But in terms of the micro and the short-term trend, it has technically flipped to bullish because they broke above this 407.60 resistance level. Now it's breaking above to the next level, plus it's trying to gap up. So the point being is, if 409.19 holds, reacts as a support level, this is a very nice sign of a micro bullish flip, and the bulls will try to run it to the next level. Where would the next level be? The next level would be in this zone. The high of the zone is going to be 411.30. The low of the zone is going to be 410.50. 410.50, you can say, is a previous support level that cracked, that really was never tested. It just kind of cracked the pre-market lows and kept dropping, never really tested after it cracked. So initially, you will likely see rejections and a short opportunity in between that zone of 411.30 to 410.50. Initially, when it hits that zone, it will likely reject for a small pullback to scalp some puts very, very quickly in and out. That's just an initial reaction. That doesn't mean that's going to flip bearish, but initially it should try to reject that zone, right? If it does ever break above 411, then the next level, and the only level I would focus on shorting, I wouldn't even consider 412.75. What I would do is, like, if this just goes super bullish throughout this week, your best level for puts is truly going to be this gap fill. There's a gap to fill at $414. That would be your best level for puts possible. If you ever see it hit this gap fill level and it forms a bearish candlestick, like something like this, a bearish red candlestick, a bearish red candlestick, a bearish red candlestick, a nice wick like that at 414, that's confirmation of swing trade puts. So if you're using swing trading confirmations, they don't form until the market actually closes. So you have to see how the daily candlestick looks minutes before the market closes, and then you get in if it appears how you want it to, right, with that confirmation, right? In terms of how this daily candlestick looks, you can see we have this little sideways slanted downtrend with a nice green bullish candlestick. In terms of how this can go, it can go one or two ways. What we do know about the micro is it's trying to flip bullish, but in terms of how I'm seeing it, it's either going to have this nice gap up and then trap the bulls, sell off, close weak at 409, or it's just going to have a strong bullish day and continue to go up. Those are the two possible scenarios that I'm seeing for tomorrow, right? And then in terms of where the traps are going to be set, based off of what I just said, if that were to happen, one of your best price to consider buying calls if it reacts as support is going to be this 409 level. If you see a floor, if you see a support level forming at 409, you're going to want to be looking to buy calls if 409 is holding up and forming a floor, right? And then in terms of the resistance levels, like we said, 410.50, initial rejection, 411.25. Next level above that, you could say is 413, but in terms of puts, I would aim for 414. So what you need to understand is, as long as 409 is holding, it's super bullish, and there's just literally no reason for puts. You can try an initial scalp, quick in and out towards that 410.50 to 411.30 range, but nothing more than that, unless we do go to 414 later in this week, right? And that could be a potential swing trade we discussed about. Now, in terms of, so remember, like I said, in terms of my opinion, the likable outcomes are we gap up, we hit a key resistance level, whether it's at 411, whether it's at 413, whether it's at 414, and then it just sells off and closes towards 409. Or we just gap up, 409 is the bottom, and we close strong. Those are the two possible case scenarios that I can see heading into tomorrow. So in terms of the bulls, you'd really want to look to buy towards 409s. And then in terms of being bearish, you only want to try to be bearish at 413 to 414. Those are the only really levels I would consider to even try being bearish, right? Because this can close very, very strong. Basically, one of the worst things that I'm seeing based off that daily pattern, one of the worst things you could do is try shorting this under 409. So I don't want to talk too much about this because based off of what I'm seeing, I don't like this idea at all. But what you do need to understand is if we crack below 409 and it forms a resistance, it forms a roof, it looks bearish, we will go to 408.50. If it cracks to 408.50, we go to 408. 408's make or break. They're going to try to hold it and bounce it off that. If it cracks below 408 and reacts as a resistance, then we drop to 407, right? I really don't like the idea of like shorting the key breakdown. I'd much rather look for a dip buying opportunity. So in that situation, if it looks bearish at that time, I will either sit on the sidelines or just try to trade price action. So that's my overall thoughts. That's my overall views of the market and what you guys need to understand about these key levels, right? So I gave you the cheat sheet. So in terms of the cheat sheet, 414, best level possible, 413 resistance, 411.30 to 410.50. And then we have the 409 gap, make or break. Below that, we have 408. And then below that, we have like 407s, right? So I gave you the overall key breakdown, the overall list. And what you need to understand about those levels are if one reacts as a support level, it reacts as a floor, then it breaks above to the next level. If one reacts as a resistance level, it's struggling to break out, it's faking out, it's forming a roof, then it goes down to the next level, right? And we never aim for more than one level. And I'm not aiming for that big of a range. I'm scalping at these levels that I'm giving you, and I'm getting in and out, and I'm using at the money strikes. I'm going with the strike price that is closest to being at the money, or that's barely out the money. It depends on where SPY's price is trading at, right? So if I were doing calls and it was at 409.20, I would go at 409 in the money calls. If it went under 409 and went to like 408.90, not too far out of the money, I would do 409 calls. But if it was at 408.50, 50 cents out of the money, I'm not trying to really go further than 50 cents out of the money, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm scalping in and out. And what you need to understand is, so I did give you some opinions, right? So there's two opinions. 409 is likely going to be the floor for the day. And it's either going to have a strong run, close strong, or it's just going to hit a resistance point at some point and then just sell right back off to the opening, right? Those are my opinions based off of daily patterns that I'm seeing, but I'm not going to blindly trade based on a plan and based on opinions and based on patterns. I'm going to use confirmations such as, is it forming a floor at my key support level? Is it forming bullish confirmations at my key support level? Is there actually a reason to confirm that that history and that pattern that I'm seeing is going to repeat itself, right? And if not, then I'm going to sit on the sidelines or just trade the price action, just trade the chart. So that's what you guys have to understand. These are upcoming plans with key levels, but you have to have the ability to actually trade the price action. You have to trade the price action. You have to identify and wait. Is this forming a floor or is this forming a roof, a resistance level, right? And obviously the higher levels we're interested in puts and the lower levels we're interested for calls. So you have to use confirmations that history is going to repeat itself. You can't just blindly trade a plan and go against the intraday price action heading into tomorrow. You can't ignore that it's breaking below and it's not doing what you wanted it to or expected it to do. You have to be able to see that in real time and say, oh, I'm not going to do that. It's forming a resistance level at this level. It's looking super bearish. I'm going to sit on the sidelines, or maybe I'll look to adapt and scalp some puts or something like that, right? So those are just some things that I want to bring awareness to. Having a plan is great, and you do have to prepare yourself to trade the best of best prices. You do need a key level sheet in terms of where the levels are, right? But you need to understand it's your responsibility to determine if it looks bullish or bearish at these levels, if it's forming a floor or a ceiling at these levels, if there's bullish or bearish confirmations, whether that's, so for me, that's candlesticks, trend reversal candlesticks, stuff like that. For other people, it could be indicators, right? It is your responsibility to identify that as a trader and to never blindly trade a plan, right? So you have to have that ability to trade the price action. So with that being said, if you do want to be a part of Traders Society, it's going to be that first link down below in the description. You guys can get started trading with us tomorrow. So just so you guys know, we're going to be raising the price very, very soon. There's only a couple spots left. Once the spots are gone, all the information is explained, down below, first link in the description. Once the spots are gone, we are going to be raising the price. It is going to be selling out very, very soon. So if you want to lock yourself in and get right for 2023 and start off the second quarter right, this would be a great time, man. You are going to learn how to trade the best best prices. You're going to have access to the Discord, the moderators in the Discord, the networking opportunities, the live voice channels, the live trading streams, the video lesson library, the entire course. Everything it is that I've learned about the stock market is in this program. So if you want to surround yourself with the right group and information, this would be the right place for you. We are mainly focused and dedicated to just trading the SPY because that is all you need. It has the most liquidity. That's what all the wealthy people are trading. And we find it to be extremely predictable, and we are very successful at trading it as a whole, as a team. So if you want to be within Trader Society, it is the first link down below in the description. You get instant lifetime access. It is a one-time fee. We will be raising the price very, very soon. It will likely sell out within a couple of days. So if you'd like to join, this is the best time to join right now. I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open.